to the Yarn is Calling podcast.
Episode 6?
Episode 6.
Yes.
This is Sunday, January 20th. Yesterday was my sister's birthday. We have a lot of birthdays in January. But anyway, I'm Holly. You can find me on Instagram as holly.knits and Ravelry as Holly Isaac.
I'm Allison. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, all those internet places as Wyvern713.
Yes. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
If this is your first time finding us,
Welcome.
welcome. Hope you like it. And if you're
I'm enjoying this.
coming back, thanks.
And welcome again.
And Happy New Year. So this is our first podcast for 2019. And it's already the 20th.
Ow.
We're a little behind.
Yeah, a little bit, but
We try to podcast. Okay, so we try to podcast every 2-ish weeks. And this time it's been 3. Just life is. We've started off the year with a bang, you know.
Yeah. Oh, we got a new camera setup, and didn't want to try and fiddle with bringing that to my apartment, so I just came here a little bit later than I would have otherwise.
Right.
I don't trust my car outside my hometown. Anyway.
So, how was the beginning of your 2019 then?
Pretty alright. I mean, mostly uneventful, except husband and I are starting a new diet. We're trying the keto diet, which has been interesting. For those of you who may not know, it's keto is low or no carbs, and like the general allowance is like 20 grams of carbs for the entire day. So it's mainly meat, cheese, vegetables, no breads or anything like that, which is kind of sad because I love bread and pasta. But it's been working out all right. I'm eating a lot of meat and a lot of cheese. I've got a whole Tupperware, the big Tupperware
Make
thing
sure you
full
have a
of
lot
cheese
of water
sticks.
too.
Yes, a lot of water. That's another important thing. But yeah, it's been interesting. Husband's already noticed the difference in weight. I not quite as much as me, but I also don't work as hard as he does, and I've got other things going on that make it harder to lose weight.
So do you have goals as far as 2019 goes for just weight and health?
Lose weight. Trying to work out more. I've been going out. There's a park near our apartment, so I've been going on a lot of Poke walks, playing Pokemon Go. So that's fun. I can usually get about an hour or so before my battery dies on my phone.
Which you got a new phone
Which
today.
I did get a new phone today. Pretty excited because my previous phone was freaking out, big time. Anyway, then just world goal. Hopefully, if everything goes well, I'm hoping to have a baby going by the end of the year. Hopefully sooner than the end, but
more family members.
hopefully, because I mean, Heather has 2, and then Kirsten's got 1 on the way. It's just like, when's it gonna be my turn?
Yeah, well,
So hopefully sooner than later.
well, that would be great. Do you have any other Okay, well, first, I was just thinking, I feel like I've started off 2019 already behind. And it hasn't even hardly started yet. And that's not how I wanted to start this year.
Yeah.
I wanted to get some of the things done so I could start the new year fresh. And I haven't. We have so many birthdays in January.
Let's see.
We have, our son-in-law's birthday is 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then as soon as January hits, there's
John.
Yeah, our youngest daughter, Heather, her birthday was Monday.
The 14th.
Right. And then Kirsten's husband, John, his birthday was Tuesday, the 15th. And then our granddaughter, Heidi's birthday was the 17th on Thursday, and my sister's birthday was yesterday, and then grandson Marcus's birthday is
February
16th. So they just have come in boom, 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 and I haven't really had the chance to. Usually I buy or make their birthday presents when I'm getting the Christmas presents, and so
makes sense.
I didn't this year. I don't know why. And so, like Heather's birthday
play stuff.
We were doing all the play knitting, but we were done with that before Christmas.
We were.
But it kind of put me behind, which is
does. When you craft for Christmas presents, as anyone who's crafted for Christmas presents before knows, you gotta start early.
Yeah, I was just spent. So I feel like this last year I ended up getting just behind, and I kept feeling like I was getting behind her. I know that's not a word, but
more behind.
You know, and so here is this new year, and I realize the new year is kind of arbitrary as far as, but that's how our calendar works, and so that's what we go by, you know. Mm-hmm. So I was watching a podcast the other day. I was behind. I was watching EarthtonesGirl, the podcast that was after Christmas. I think she did it on New Year's Eve. And it was so good. I wanted to comment on it, but I just haven't yet.
Okay.
But EarthtonesGirl, great podcast. Oh, she's great. And I enjoyed some of the things she was saying. And she was talking about just prioritizing things, and I think she had, what was her word for the year? Like, focus? Simplify? I don't remember. A lot of people pick a word for the year instead of like a goal or a resolution or whatever, and I've never really done that.
I've barely done resolutions, so. Right,
but I really resonated with the things that she said as far as, you know, how you start off with, you have all these goals and plans and things you want to do in your year, and then it gets away from you, and all of a sudden it's just, you know, you're just spending the rest of your time to catch up.
You're a mile away.
Yeah, it just gets away from you. So, anyway, I really liked some of the things she had. So, if you have the chance to watch her, it was her newest episode, but she had, you know, it was like New Year's Eve, EarthtonesGirl, and it was really, really good. And not a super long one, but it was just good as far as setting attainable goals for yourself. Mm-hmm. So I haven't had time to sit down and write stuff out. But I tried to write a few things out. And one of the things I've been wanting to do for years is make a temperature scarf. So I have started that, but I'll get into that when we start talking about our works in progress. But yeah, and I'm seeing in other things that I'm watching, people are getting snow, and we're like...
Rain.
We had
lots of rain.
We had a day, I was just telling someone in church today, that it's been cold, but not as cold as January usually is.
Yeah.
And although the other day,
the big snow when I kind of got stuck up in the Tigard area. Remember that?
Yeah.
It wasn't last year. It was the year before. Yeah. That was more like early February.
Yeah, February.
So
February's nasty too.
Yeah.
But it was weird because the other night it actually got warmer in the middle of the night. You know, usually the sun goes down and it gets cold, right? Mm-hmm. That day, it was like cold all day, and then the temperature went up at night and it was
weird.
Right? I'm like,
or you can go home, you're drunk.
Weird. That is not how it's supposed to be. So, anyway, it's just something I've been a little bit more aware of when I've been making the temperature scarves. I've been a little bit more aware of.
Oh, yeah.
Of the temperature and thinking, it's warmer than usual. But yeah, I'm hearing mostly the ones I'm hearing about the snow are the ones that are up north in Canada. Mm-hmm. And, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I don't have any big goals other than one of the things, actually, that I want to do for 2019. I was talking with my husband about it on our date night. We have a date night once a week. Catch up with each other. It was really important when the kids were little, and we still do it anyway because
it's a good thing to do.
It's a good thing to do. And one of the things we were talking about was I have so many WIPs, works in progress.
Well, Crafter does it.
On my needles. I just have, and I'm starting to feel a little bit bothered by them. They didn't used to bother me quite so much. And now they kind of do. And I'm just tired of feeling perpetually behind all the time. I just feel perpetually behind, and I'm tired of that feeling. So I was thinking, I've seen the Crazy Sock Lady, another favorite podcast that I watch, and she does Scrappy Sunday. And I haven't ever done Scrappy Sunday. I want to get a scrap blanket going one of these days and do that, but I haven't yet.
Oh,
it's on my
Sunday,
list.
that's just like
Scrappy Sunday, that's just what she does, and on Instagram, hashtag Scrappy Sunday, and she's working on like 3 different blankets, I think.
Oh, wow.
And they're all super cute, and I love them all, like a Joseph's Coat of Many Colors type of thing.
Nice.
With all of your leftovers, and heaven knows I have
something like that in progress.
bins of leftovers.
I'll mention that
I'm
later.
going to talk about how many leftovers I have. But, so, someday I plan to do the Scrappy Sunday thing. But in the meantime, with this whole, all my works in progress that I'm so behind on and blah, 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 I've decided to make Wednesdays WIP Wednesday.
Nice.
So, on Wednesday, that is the day that I will pull out a WIP and work on that, and I could discipline myself. Only that. Just WIPs.
It's a good idea.
And work on my other projects, you know.
So you start a project the day before.
No. This is old WIPs.
I know.
There's a difference between the current WIPs and the current projects I'm working on and old WIPs that I've had on the needles for years and years that I need to.
I knew what you
I know, but I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, sorry. But yeah. So this last Wednesday, I pulled out some. So actually, that leads us right into our finished items. Because last Wednesday, I pulled out a WIP that I'd had since September? I think September. Socks for Charlie. I think I've shown them on the podcast before.
I might have mentioned them.
Mm-hmm. And I'll have them right here. I was going to take them to church today to give to Charlie, and then I went, nope, I'm gonna
show them off
on the podcast first.
Show the interest.
So I did actually talk about these last time. I had one done, and Kirsten, and I was like, oh, I can finish them, and Kirsten's like, are you sure?
Episode 3 as well.
I've probably mentioned them a lot, actually, because I
just remember I was doing the show notes for episode 3. I still need to do 4 and 5. I'm sorry, I'll get to them eventually. Anyway,
it's okay.
But I remember
it's okay.
Typing.
So this pattern is the Jemima socks. You see the stitch definition there? Isn't that neat?
That's really cool.
Yes, Jemima socks. There's 2 here. Sorry. This is by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. She had the Miss Potter's sock collection, and so there's Jemima from Jemima Puddle Duck, and then Peter Rabbit.
I didn't think of syrup.
Oh, yeah. And then the last one is. I was just looking at it yesterday. It's the one I never can remember, but it's a great pattern. I eventually want to make them all. Anyway, the yarn that I used was the Opal Classics.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty.
It just has a name. And then I had leftovers for the heels and the toes. That was Double and Dye Works, which I really love. Double and Dye Works.
It's pretty.
I did her heel. I did her pattern. I usually kind of do my own thing for heels and toes. This time I did hers. I did her heel and her toe. And I did a size that was in between. Instead of the 64 or the 72, I did 68.
Is it a multiple of 4?
Yeah, this is finished a multiple of 4.
Yeah.
But then for the heel, because Charlie has a really high instep, I did the large. And I just kind of rearranged my stitches a little bit to make them balanced, so that my stitch pattern was centered. The heel is a little squarer, which makes it feel a weeny bit smaller, but he hasn't tried them on yet. And then I did her umbrella toe, which is kind of cool. It's a
It
round.
looks like a star toe.
Kind of, yes. Or maybe it's the same. I don't know. But anyway, I love how these turned out, and hopefully Charlie will like them too.
I think he
And I got that, so I was very proud of myself. I got out my whip from September on Whip Wednesday and finished them that day.
Nice.
So
I might have to start doing that because I've got a bunch of whips.
you too.
I've dug out a couple old
You've
ones.
been working on them, and that's been
and
great.
I have been.
Mhm.
Yeah, one kind of goal thing that I definitely want to do this year is I'm going to do my darndest not to buy any new yarn unless it's for a specific project.
Oh yeah, that's good. So that could be a good thing to write down and make one of your. Okay, so speaking of buying yarn only for projects, there's the thing coming up. Oh, maybe I should wait and talk about that later. Maybe I'll talk about that later. I will mention Stitches West.
Oh, that, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
what I
Stitches
thought you
West.
were. That I'm going to, but I'll get into that later, and we can talk about that later. Anyway, I have a couple more finished projects that aren't here because I gave them away already. Because, like I said, I had birthdays this week that I was
And there's Christmas.
knitting for.
Did you, the last one you did with Kirsten, was that after Christmas?
It was after Christmas, before New Year's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, so like I said, this last week was Heather's birthday, and I made Heather a pair of slippers.
Ooh.
So if I can remember to send, so Kirsten's husband, John, he's the one that edits our podcast. And so if I can remember to send him a picture
We can write it down.
I will make a note.
Okay.
To send him a picture of the slippers that I made for Heather. They were called the Saki slippers, S-A-K-I, Saki slippers. And it's made with worsted weight yarn, and I took 2 strands of fingering weight and knit them together, like worsted weight, and they worked up really fast.
Nice.
I used a Knit Picks Imagination, which is a discontinued yarn, but it is a non-superwash and has alpaca in it. It's really warm. And then
alpaca is warm.
Yeah, and then the one I paired it with was Camelot Dye Works, I think. Anyway, she loves them. I had to tweak the pattern a little bit because they were really low on the heel, and so I had to make it a little taller so that they would stay on the heel. But anyway, they turned out super cute. They look kind of like moccasins. Super easy pattern. It worked up really quickly, and so we actually celebrated her birthday the day after her birthday on Tuesday, and we went out to lunch. We went to Goodwill.
I was working
I
that
gave her
day.
slippers. Yeah, you were working. I remember that.
I thought would have at least like an invite.
I'm sorry. I think she was just in town because the Marcus was at preschool, and it was kind of a last minute. Hey, I'm not working today because usually she's a nanny or not a nanny, but she does childcare, and I'm not working today. So she came over after Bible study.
Oh, okay.
And after she picked up Marcus.
What?
Allison's new phone is ringing.
I will turn that off. The sound off.
Anyway, so I gave her slippers, and she loved them, and they fit. So
That's brightness.
I will try to get a picture of them inserted here. And then the other thing that I made this week was a sweater for Heidi. And Heidi, my granddaughter, turned 2 on Thursday. And so I knitted her the Puddle duck sweater. I didn't want to knit her a cardigan because she tends to take them off and then she's cold. And so this is a pullover. And it's 3/4 sleeve, kind of tunic length. And I'd read a bunch of notes on the Ravelry about how that tends to run a little bit small. And I knit tight. I'm a tight knitter, my row gauge especially. So she's turning 2. I made her the 4. I made the 4T, and it fits perfectly. And so it was the Puddle duck sweater.
Super cute on her.
It's a super cute sweater.
I love the
and it
picture
worked
she's
up
doing
really
with this.
Like, yes. Okay, so this is another one that I will have John insert a picture here. So Heidi in her Puddle duck sweater. The yarn I used was Leading Men Fiber Arts in the Box Office, which is their worsted weight in the Pink Panther colorway. And oh, did I love working with that yarn. I've had other Leading Men Fiber Arts yarns, the fingering weight, the Showcase, I think it is. But I hadn't tried the box office yet before, and it was scrumptious and soft. It's just such a delight to work with. Leading My Fiber Arts. I highly recommend their yarn. And I watch their podcast, Dramatic Knits. They're super fun. Steve actually does the podcast with his sister.
Oh, that's cool.
Amanda. Yeah. And they're fun, and their yarn is, amazing. The colorways are just absolutely gorgeous. What I really wanted to do was get his end of year mini skein set with the project bag, and
ooh, that sounds fun.
It's 12 minis of every monthly colorway.
Oh, nice.
I wanted it so bad, but your dad said I could either go to Stitches West
or
I can get that.
Ow.
So, and he'll be at Stitches West. So maybe I'll just go into his booth and get something there.
Sorry for the loud ow. I just stabbed myself with my straw.
Oh. So hopefully I'll get a picture of that in as well. So I think those are the only two. And I also made Heidi a hat, which I also don't have. Heather didn't have it with her yesterday. So it was. No, this was for the Gertson Christmas.
Okay. I'd say Marcus is there.
Yeah, it was
the really cute
Quynn hat, Quynn by Woolly Wormhead, and again I held 2 strands of fingering weight together. It was super cute. Has this big garter stitch brim with kind of like ear flaps and looks like a little helmet almost.
Super cute.
And and so I do have a picture of her in it, but the pictures were all taken indoors at the event, and they all look washed out and yellow and ugly. So I'll try and get a better picture of her in that. If not, you can find that on my project pages on Ravelry. And then when I made Marcus's, sorry I'm talking a lot, but I'll quit here in a minute.
That's fine.
I'm
just crocheting away over
So
here.
for our Gertson family Christmas, that we always get together in January with, I say Gertson. Sorry, I should clarify. My husband's mother's family. So real extended family. So all the aunts and uncles and cousins and second cousins and third cousins and whatever.
All the cousins.
And we always get together in January, once a year, and have a theme of some sort. And this year one of the cousins chose hats as our theme. And I'm like, well, I could do that. So I made a bunch of hats.
Made 3 of them.
I made 4.
4.
Well, I made one for me to exchange, one for your dad to exchange, and the one I exchanged you got, and the one that I made for your dad to exchange Heather got. Then I made one for Heidi and one for Marcus because I wanted them to be able to open presents too and not be part of the gift exchange because they're little, they're toddlers. So they're not gonna. So that was what the Quynn hat was for by Woolly Wormhead, and then this one is the one I made for Marcus. This
Super
one
cute.
is called, how do you like my head? Isn't that lovely? Spoopy. Woo! I got this at Goodwill. Goodwill, y'all. Anyway, it's the Headcase. So what I did was, so you can see, isn't that cute?
Super cute.
It doesn't really have ears. It's just a square,
It gives it an ear effect.
Yeah. But I took leftover, this is fingering weight and it's all knit through the back loop ribbing, so it took me forever. Jeez. But I used this bottom.
The result is nice.
The first half was one yarn and then I faded in another yarn up here to give it.
I thought it was all one.
No, I faded it right here.
Oh, that's cool.
And so, but because the second yarn was a gradient, so when you look at it,
it looks like it's just part of the gradient.
It just kind of looks like a square. But
cute.
Yeah, but he looks darling in it.
Yeah, he does.
And I love the Woolly Wormhead hats. I'm in her group, and she.
Is that the designer's?
The designer, Woolly Wormhead.
Okay.
She's amazing. She's amazing. I follow her on Instagram as well, and I just love her hats. And she's very talented. And anyway, so this one's a free one. The Quynn hat I don't think was free. I think I bought that one because I had to have it. But she has a knit along that she does in the fall.
Nice.
Is it mystery hats? I think they're mystery hats. So last year I participated. She had 2 last year, and I made both of them. And I gave one to Heidi, my sister, and one to my husband's sister, Shelley. And this year I fully intended to participate, got the pattern, and then like I said before, I'm perpetually behind and I never got it made.
It happens.
That was kind of a bummer.
I've got, I can think of one for sure, maybe two, but one for sure, Mystery Cowl, that I was going to participate in a couple years ago, and just, I got the pattern.
For a hat or?
It was a shawl.
A shawl.
It's a Morticia shawl. I can't
I
can't remember the designer, but I was planning on dyeing some yarn for it, and I just never got around to doing that, and I just never got around to making it. It's in my Ravelry projects. It's either active or hibernating. I can't remember what I last said it as, but
I have a few more things, but I'll let you take a turn. Do you have some finished objects? Finished items?
I do have finished objects.
Show me what they
all
are.
sorts.
Show us what they are. Show you what they are.
Show everybody what they are. Okay. So.
There's piles over here.
Yes.
As do I, actually.
Okay. So. Last episode, I think, Mom mentioned a project bag that I made for her.
Yes, my Charlie Brown Christmas project bag.
I made one for myself.
Of course.
So, I used a different fabric on the inside, but...
And yours has a green zipper. Mine had an orange zipper.
Yes, different zipper.
Oh, the fabric is so cute.
Yeah, I used just a plain white inside. Wrong way. Just plain white inside. But next time I make one of these, I'll probably put some interfacing in it because it's a little wambly.
Mm-hmm.
It looks squarish because I ironed where all the corners are, but I got enough fabric. I had to make one for myself.
Oh, I love it.
So cute, so fun. And I made a hat for my husband. This is, I can't remember if it's called Stormy hat or Stormy Waters hat. But super easy, super fun.
It doesn't look real deep, or is it like a beanie?
Well, I need to fix it a little bit because it's a smidge small for him. So I'm gonna take out the top, like undo this top part before the decreases, and then add about another inch or so because it fits him around. It's just not quite deep enough for him. So
it looks.
But this is the Lion brand shepherd worsted.
Oh, it's Lion brand?
Not Lion brand. Lorna's Laces.
That's what I thought.
One of those L brands.
Lorna's Laces.
Lorna's Laces. Shepherd worsted. It was one of...
Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
Let's see. I don't know if they're still doing it, but for a couple of years there, they were doing...
Squishy.
Like Jimmy Bean's Wool was doing an exclusive Lorna's Laces color.
What a fun pattern.
It was pretty. It was fun. It's got a twisted rib brim. Anyway. And on their Facebook group, if you're a part of it, every month you had a chance to win a skein of yarn
in
that month's color. And you got a chance to win one skein of each of the base weights. So shepherd worsted, shepherd sock, Helen lace, and like 8 different bases that started
through Jimmy Bean's.
Through Jimmy Bean's Wool, yes. Right. October 2012, which was an election year, I won. This is one of because
how many skeins did you win?
It was 8 skeins.
8 skeins.
Because it was an election year in October, they did 4 different colorways for like some like the 4 top political parties.
I remember that, yeah.
So this one is indie, I believe.
Okay.
I think it's indie, and then they also had a blue and gray one, a red and gray one, and then there's one that was like pink and brown, like a hot pink and like a dark grayish brown. But this is the indie. There's nice stuff to work with. I've got a bunch left over.
What was the pattern again?
It's either Stormy hat or Stormy Waters hat.
Right.
I can't remember off the top of my head. It's in my project pages. Anyway, moving on. And so then I got this little hat.
That's so cute.
This is the Forevergreen hat. I can't remember the designer's name. This is the Knit Picks Mighty Stitch worsted in black and Gulfstream, I believe. Again, on my project page.
It's like a little puppet.
This designer had a deal going on. If you made the evergreen hat and put a project page with a picture, by the end of 2018, she would gift you one of her patterns. And so I was like, well, a friend of mine recently had a baby, and it was a little preemie, so I've been meaning to send her a message and get her address so I can mail it to her.
Preemie?
Heather.
Do I know?
Elgin.
Oh, that's right. He was early, huh?
Yeah, he was like a month early.
Ooh.
So.
Oh, so cute.
I'm a little concerned about the fit because it doesn't stretch a whole lot. But I'm also thinking, well, preemie, he's still kind of small.
Yeah, you gotta get that.
So I need to get the address from her
before he grows out
of
it.
Before he grows out of it. But anyway, so that's that.
Cute.
Super cute. Mm-hmm. Really fun. And speaking of baby things, I've also
I'll do knitting right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those are so cute.
These little baby booties.
Oh,
these ones.
So they're adorable.
Yes.
I love them.
It's, the yellow is Madeline Tosh Merino Light in, I think it's wheat or something wheat. It's a half brioche stitch pattern. So
yes. Look at that stretch.
So it's really stretchy. It's fine. Super stretchy. Oh, there we go. The black is Knit Picks Chroma fingering in black.
At the front.
I know.
It's so cute.
It's really easy. I made this pair to put in my hope chest for when it's my turn to have a baby.
They're so little.
I know. And then I made this pair out of Dream in Color Starry Chinatown Apple. That's the brownish color.
Right.
And then the blue is Knit Picks Palette in Marine Heather. And these ones, I haven't decided if I'm going to keep them or give away as a gift.
No, what?
Same pattern.
Which is called what again? I know you said it, but I forgot.
I don't think I said it.
Oh, maybe you didn't say it.
I said the stitch pattern. It's a half brioche, but the pattern, I think it's called like Blue Baby Steps or just no, that's like the file name. I think the pattern is just called Baby Steps Booties. Something like that. Again, project page.
They're so cute and they're so stretchy. And squishy.
And
I feel
easy.
like they would stay on really well because they're kind of a tall boot.
Yeah. So, these ones are for sure for me. I had to do black and gold because Hufflepuff.
Oh, okay.
Husband and I are both Hufflepuffs for you Harry Potter nerds. And then these ones.
I think I've already mentioned what I am before, but that's okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure maybe away as a gift, but I kind of want them as well. But I've got plenty leftovers. I can make more. Anyway.
Kirsten knows about me.
Yeah, maybe. I had a dream a couple weeks ago that she was having a boy. Oh, so we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. If my dream brain's right.
Well, before you get into sewing.
No, I've got one more.
Knitting? Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't have it with me.
Okay.
Because I
gave it as a gift?
Yeah. Make 3 things. I made, for the Christmas, I made 2 hats.
Right.
I made, I did a crocheted one using, I think it's a Yarn Bee yarn. But the pattern, I believe, is called Unforgettable hat. It's a crocheted hat. And then...
Aunt Terry got that one.
And then the other one I made was a red one. I can't remember the pattern name. Starts with an H. Ends with the T's. Like Harraseeket.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll look that pattern up.
It's, again, in my project pages. But it's really cool. It's mostly stockinette, but then it has like triangles of 2x2 ribs that kind of decrease into each other 6 times around. It's really cool.
Because that was a beautiful hat.
Yeah, I mean, and my aunt Shelly, my dad's sister, got that one.
Mm-hmm.
And first when I made it, it's just like, is that gonna fit anyone? Because it came out pretty small. The pattern shows it slouching, but definitely not slouching like the way I did it.
And actually it's a little shallow on her head too, I remember that.
Yeah. But it's really stretchy. And
you said there were 3 things. What was the third?
The third thing I made for Heather for her birthday, I made her a cowl.
Oh, right.
With the
yes.
I can't remember the exact yarn name, but it's a Bernat yarn, so a new one. It's like the Loops Blanket Easy or something like that. It's a gargantuan, like a big gargantuan ball of yarn, and the strand, it's got like preformed loops all the way across a strand. So you don't even have to use needles or crochet or anything. You just use your fingers. And you just pull loops through loops, and I just made a cow for her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna get that from her today and then give it back to her, but
they went to the snow today.
They went to the snow today, and we left our apartment for church later than expected to be able to get it in time. So, but I'll get it from her
next time.
And show it off next month.
I have a few more knitted items. Do you have sewing items?
I do.
Do you have more knitting items?
I have a finished sewing item.
Go for it.
Really pretty. Very
It
happy
is
with
very
how
pretty.
this turned out. I made a shirt or a blouse or a top, whatever you want to call it.
So what's the pattern?
The pattern, it's a simplicity pattern. It's got flouncy sleeves.
That's fancy.
It's so fun. It's a flounce. It's got a zipper on the back. It's supposed to be invisible, and I use an invisible zipper, but I didn't really use much of an invisible technique per se, because I don't really care. It's on the back anyway, so. But yeah, it fits great.
It looks great too. It's pretty.
I'll tweak it slightly. The back is supposed to have waist darts, and I omitted those because I want to make sure, it actually fit. But it's got a nice, lovely.
It has a nice drape to it.
Nice drape, nice flouncy sleeve. And it's a raglan shaping. I need to.
Okay. What's the fabric? It feels
The
like
fabric,
it's like a little bit of rayon.
It's a rayon. It's a hand wash one.
Okay.
I got it, Joanne, specifically for this pattern. But when I eventually get on to do the show notes, I'll link the simplicity pattern. I can't remember the name or the number, the pattern number, but I'll link it. But I think it's like I think Nicole Miller is the designer of that particular
fabric. Okay.
Something like that. I'm trying to think if I have any other finished objects.
Well, I have a couple more because all I have was the ones that I gave away. So I don't have any. Oh. So there's this here.
Yes, the important.
And I think I might have shown.
I did not stab myself with the string.
I did not show this last time. I mean, I did, but it was not done
because
I was still waiting for the rest of my mohair. So this is the Dust of Snow Wrap, and I think I showed it because I remember Kirsten was holding it and it was still on the needles. Well, now it is done and has been blocked. My mohair.
You shared it on Instagram, that's for sure.
Yes. So this is the beginning of it.
Super pretty. I help.
And let's see.
Except
you can't see what I'm doing.
No, I'm kind of helping.
Yeah.
Dun da da.
So it's been blocked. I can't even see what I'm doing.
That's okay. It's just gonna fill the whole screen.
Here, we can make this our screenshot. Okay.
You do like what Kirsten and I used to do. I don't know if you remember this. When Kirsten and I were really little, do you remember that like blue, purple, magenta?
Yes.
You made me.
Yes.
Kirsten and I
ripped holes in it.
Not on purpose, but it got a big hole in it. So
I crocheted it when she was little.
Yeah. So we would stick our heads through the hole and we'd pretend we were the French peas from VeggieTales and sing like one of the songs I sang in the Josh and the Big Wall VeggieTales. It was hilarious.
Do you guys remember VeggieTales? Did anybody watch VeggieTales? Okay, so
good.
anyway, all the way to the end, and there's the end.
Ta-da!
So I think I was in the middle of this right here before, and so I had these last 4 colors to do, 4.5 colors to do.
Spooky.
And so look, I mean, it's so long. Yes, I posted pictures on Instagram.
Sorry,
I took pictures of it, and Heather was over and she modeled them for me. But yeah, it's a little, mohairy. And
You just put more on your shoulders.
Right.
I know, crochet hook came out.
And it's warm and it's soft, really soft, and I love the pattern. So it was the Dust of Snow Wrap by Helen Stewart. The yarn I used was SeraCraft, her Advent Minis.
That's my husband's message.
Oh,
or text
okay.
to
Okay.
her message.
So, yeah, and the
Something more
Twinkle
friend.
Toes base, which was her sparkle base, and then the everyday.
Oh, were all of them sparkly?
No, and the everyday socks. So, like,
and
half of
gotcha.
them. Like, half of them were the sparkle and half were the regular.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, all done and blocked and beautiful.
And warm.
And warm, and I love it. I just love it so much. I'm just, yeah.
Warm.
I just,
And cozy.
I had never done it. Well, I'd never bought an advent calendar before, and so it was really fun to do that. It's looking so, okay, y'all. It's really gray today. I woke up and it's gray, and it's just gray.
Or winter in Oregon.
Yeah, and then after church we had to go run some errands, and so by the time we got started, it was late. We have our lamps, but it's still gray. You know, it's just.
But
gray.
because we got the lamps, the lighting is fine.
Lighting is, yeah, but just so you know, if it looks a little bit like, it's because it's gray outside today. That's just the way it is. So yeah, that, and then, oh, I can't show my last finished item because it's a birthday present for our editor.
Oh! Oh, is that what that is?
John, this is for you. No. Yes, that's what that is right over there.
It's cool.
I made a thing for my son-in-law for his birthday, which was Tuesday.
15th.
But I can tell you the yarn I used. I used Barking Dog yarns. I used in the Swamp colorway.
Nice.
Great colors. I used to be in the Barking Dog Yarns club. I did that for a couple of years, and I get the yarn every other month. And it's such nice, soft, squishy yarn. But I'm not even going to show it though, because John's going to be editing
Spoilers.
this. Yes.
I want to squish the thing though.
I will. It's a little still damp, I think.
There's a
Because I
little
was
down.
blocking it.
Pretty squish.
Did you feel like it?
Yeah.
I'll show it next time.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
And I'll I won't even be able to put a picture into this, y'all. I'm sorry, but I'll show it next time. And it is on Ravelry, but I don't even think I've finished pictures of it on Ravelry yet either.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm picking up my label that fell. So I think that's all the things that I finished, and I think that's all the things that you finished. Nice. Yes. You're looking cozy.
I am cozy.
So.
Really itchy too. That'd be the mohair.
Anyway, so let's talk about our current things that we're
Current
doing
things.
that
Do you want
right
to go
now.
first?
Sure. One of the things I made today in church was my little hat. I made this little hat. Here.
Do you want to move the whole thing? Yeah, just for. Oh, wait. Nope. Directions.
Yeah,
Ta-da!
I made a little hat.
Tiny hat.
Tiny hat.
Super cute.
So that didn't take me very long. And so because I had so much more time, I continued to work on socks for my husband. So I have 2 pairs of socks going right now.
Only 2.
No.
Okay.
But 2 current
active ones.
ones. On Wednesday, I will pull out Chelsea's socks. I will probably pull out Chelsea's socks and work on hers because she'll be moving out soon and I'll be able to give her those.
Oh.
So, anyway. Yeah. So today that I was working on, and then when we went to the store to get her new phone, it took a while. I am working on the Galactic, I think it's called Galactic socks. It's a pattern that is designed based on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe. One of the Hitchhiker's Guides. Anyway, so these are for my husband. That's what I've got so far. Got a string in the way here, excuse me. There we are. So, this is all out of knit picks. I like to do a nice wide thick cuff for him, and they look kind of big. Even he was saying they look kind of big, so we'll see. But isn't that cool? It's perfect for
thick legs.
For
calves.
So this is the Knit Picks Felici in Stormy Sky. Oops, I'm turning it the wrong way.
Stormy sky.
Yeah, it's kind of glaring, blowing out. I mean, not holding it right. There you go. Thanks, Allison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's these grays, different shades of grays.
Are there 50 of them?
No.
Sorry. Shades of gray. had to do it.
And then I'm using the Stroll fingering in black for the heels, toes, and cuffs.
Mixed yarn is nice stuff. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's soft. So he's
and inexpensive too.
He's been wearing holes in his dress socks, and some of the pairs that I've made for him were a little bit heavier yarn, and so he was telling me that they don't really fit super great in his shoes for work, and so Felici and Stroll are both more on the thin side, but they hold up pretty well. They're pretty sturdy.
75-25?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, 75-25 merino nylon.
Yep.
And so I'm using size 1 needle magic loop on my Haya. I like to work one at a time. I used to always work my socks too. Okay, when I first learned to make socks, I learned one at a time on DPNs, like a lot of people do. And then I got the 2 at a time Melissa Morgan Oakes book, 2 at a time socks, because I wanted to learn how to make them 2 at a time, so that I could have my socks, the same size, have them done at the same time.
No
all
second socks in
good reasons that people make their socks 2 at a time. At the same time that I was learning that, though, I was learning magic loop, because generally you work those on a big magic loop. So I was trying to learn magic loop and 2 at a time at the same time, and I kind of, and so had to take them apart. I went, okay, I gotta do one or the other. I can't learn both at the same time. So I took them apart and learned how to do magic loop, and all it took was like, I don't know, a couple rows, and then these.
It may look intimidating, but it's not hard once you do a couple rounds. You're like, oh, that's how it works. Okay,
basically, yeah. And so then I put them back together and finished them 2 at a time.
That is my only technique for knitting for everything I do in the round.
If I can do it magic loop, I will. Yeah. So yeah.
Sometimes I'll do 2 circs for the top of the hat, but
I don't do them 2 at a time anymore. So I used to always do them 2 at a time, but I have discovered, for me personally, what?
I said,
for me personally, I work faster when I'm working 1 at a time, because I can just hold it. I knit continental. So that means I'm holding my yarn in my left hand.
But working with your right.
But working with my right. That's how I learned. And I can work fast if I'm just going round and round and round and round and round and round, and I don't have to drop my yarn. And with magic loop, obviously you have to drop your yarn. I mean, not magic loop.
2 at a time.
You obviously have to drop your yarn because you have your second sock. And so you can't just go round and round. And then the extra shifting of the socks on the cables was just an extra step, fiddling, an extra step, extra time. And so,
but there's nothing wrong with it if you like that technique.
Right. This is just for me. Personally, I just discovered I'm faster doing them 1 at a time, and I enjoy it more. I just enjoy. I can get it done, and I have the satisfaction of having a sock done, and then I don't have second sock syndrome usually because I also have castanitis. And because of
what
that,
knitter doesn't?
Starting the next sock is almost like starting it. And I work my second sock faster, always, because I've worked out all the kinks in the first sock.
It makes sense.
Right. If I have to fiddle with the pattern it all and tweak it, or tweak size, or if I do something wrong, all the mistakes you make on your first sock, I make them on the first sock, and the second sock, I'm just doing it exactly like the first one, so I'm just zipping through it, and so it's really fast for me to do the second sock. The only times I've had problems with having my second sock not fit like the first gauge or whatever is if I leave it too long.
I experienced that.
Like I said, I had like 15.
I just remember you mentioned that. Another pair of socks that I finished, and I totally forgot about them.
Oh, bummer.
Show off next time.
Yeah.
The pair of colorwork socks. I started them like 7 years ago.
Oh, yeah, those.
Yeah. And I used Cascade Heritage in black and a Regia Jacquard yarn in shades of blue. I can't remember the pattern name.
Alright.
But it's a Wendy Johnson. And yeah.
We can maybe put it in the notes.
Yeah. But I experienced
they're really, really pretty.
I experienced the same thing. It's like one of them is much looser than the other one.
Right. So I don't have problems with that unless I leave it for too long. Now, having said that, I have some old whips that I may have problems with that now. Because, you know, that's just what happens. I do have one sock that I started. I know I'm going to pull out because my gauge changed. Even within the... Anyway, back to this. This Pan Galactic for my husband out of Felici. So he has pretty big around circumference-wise legs and ankles and feet. And so this stitch pattern is a repeat of 8 stitches. So I am doing 80. The largest size in the pattern says 72 for, I think it says 10-inch circumference, and Jason's is almost 11-inch circumference. So I'm doing a bigger one, so I'm doing 80. They look big, but I think they'll fit them okay. So anyway, yes, a size 1, and these are high. I think I said these are high-highs. Yes. And these are in one of my favorite bags that I use all the time.
The Holly Hobby one?
My Holly Hobby bag by CraftyMommaDesignz.
Super cute.
Dawn. Yes, in Canada. I love. There is, I think somebody spelled tea on it, but it just kind of makes it look a little more vintagey.
Vintage.
And it has this great fabric inside that looks, you know.
Oh, cute!
Like stitches.
Little patchwork hearts.
Yeah.
Super
cute. I love Holly Hobby and I love her bags. Super cute.
Super cute.
So, and she has yarn that she dyes also. CraftyMommaDesignz, y'all. And January's, I don't know if it's too late. I just saw on Instagram if it's too late to order her January club. She's doing Disney Villains Club self-striping. Okay, and January is Ursula.
Oh.
Nice. And I saw on Instagram the other day that she was dyeing it, so I'm excited to get started. And then the other sock project I'm working on is my Grocery Girls. Okay, so last year they had Hugh Loco and Grocery Girls teamed up and they did some yarn every month for 6 months. A yarn club.
That!
Yeah. So I'm using my first
cute.
one.
That's so pretty.
Isn't
Look
that
at the cotton candy.
Yeah. Can you? I feel like I'm blowing it out. There we go. There we go.
Oh,
it is
so pretty.
This one is the very first one that they did. It's called Money Cake, and it came with a mini. That's this to me it looks like chocolate milk.
It looks gray from my angle.
It's brown.
Oh, it is brown. Yeah, that definitely looks like chocolate milk.
Yeah, and so
chocolate milk and cotton candy is what that looks like to me.
Yeah, it's funfetti cake.
Oh, well there you go.
Funfetti cake. So
love funfetti cake. It's my favorite.
Making. I have it in my Simply Serving DPN cozy, needle cozy, which I love because it protects. Because I didn't want the needles to poke through the bag here.
Yeah.
So this.
Ooh, that's pretty.
The pattern, yeah.
That's so pretty.
Can you see that?
That's really cool. I like it.
And it's kind of making stripes a little bit. Swirling. And you can see the speckles from the funfetti cake in there.
Gumdrops.
Yes. So the pattern is called Firefly Socks.
Ooh.
And it's from, I have my book. I'm trying to use my books more. So the Knitter's Book of Socks.
Oh, that one.
Yes. So in one of the groups that I moderate, the Everlasting Sock Challenge, I've chosen 2 books for every 2 months because I need to work through my books. And so one of the challenges for January and February is to work any pattern you want to out of this book. And I think the other one that I chose was a Cookie A book. Sock Innovation, maybe. And I've worked a ton out of that book, but I haven't done really any, I don't think, out of this one. So, anyway, so this is the Firefly socks in this book. Let's see if I can come up with a picture in here that doesn't give away the pattern. Sort of. Let's see. Whoops, wrong one. Can you see it?
Why are you being secretive about the pattern?
Well, I mean, they don't like you to show info, you know, because it's a paid-for pattern out of a book.
Oh, you can.
So
you can show like the name of it at least.
I was trying to, and I just was holding it wrong. But anyway, I did the heel flap with that brown mini, and then I'll be doing the toe with the mini. Now the pattern has it's a size 1 needle, 2.25 millimeter needle that it calls for. The cuff starts with 72 stitches, and then it has a couple of transition rows when it transitions from the cuff. Can you see how at the top part it's kind of ribby, and then it goes into the solid?
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's
so
cool.
that middle section in here, where it goes from the cables into the leg of the sock, it goes from 72 stitches down to like 66, and then down to 60.
Well, interesting.
And all in a size 1 needle. And so you're going from 72 to 60, and I'm thinking, well, this is where it's stretchier, and this is where it's not because of the cables. So the needle sizing didn't really make sense to me that would fit real well. So what I did was I did my cuff with a size 1 needle, which is what it called for, 2.25. Then this transition section in here that was, you know, decreasing, the first set of decreasing, I used a size 1.5 needle for that, because I was going down to 60.
66, I think is what you said.
Yeah, not a 1.5 needle. 1, 2. I did a 0 needle.
Oh.
Okay, scratch that. I usually do zeros for 72 stitches. So I did a 0 needle on my cuff, 2.0 millimeter. And then for that middle transition section, I did a 2.25. Because I'm going, 1.5, that would have been too big for 66 stitches.
That's about what I would do for 66.
Right. So I did a 1 for that. And then when it hit 60 stitches for the rest of the sock, I'm now on a 1.5. So from a 0 to a 1 to a 1.5, and it's fitting good. It's fitting perfect. Because of the cables, it just didn't make sense to go down to only 60 stitches. And a ribbing, sure, but cables, not so much. I mean, it's pretty stretchy. So it is, though, having said that, it is making a little bit of a looser fabric. You know, it's not a super tight fabric, but I'm also not hard on my socks. And I did on the heel turn. Can you see that? I continued the slip stitch pattern from the heel flap. I continued it onto the heel turn just to give it a little bit of extra, reinforcement there. But yeah, I have so many socks that I don't wear them out. I just don't. So I don't have any fears about the durability of this, but I love how it's turning out though. Isn't that pretty?
It's really pretty.
Love it.
Super pretty.
Love it. So that is my other sock work in progress. I don't know where with my DPN goes either. It is. And then the only other thing that I'm working on, and I'm not sure about showing this, only because it's a mystery knit along. Okay, so I'm working on the Cozy Up stitching, Cozy Up knitting. Anyway, it was Cozy Up with the Stitching Sisters. Cozy Up Knits. Anyway, I watch their podcast, The Four Sisters in Canada, and they're fun. I've mentioned them before because I want to be their friend. Remember that? And they're having a mystery knit along from now until February.
Nice.
And it's a shawl.
Ooh.
And it's a mystery shawl based on the twins. It's called Twin It Up. And I have been working on that, and it's in my very new favorite Tanny Casey bag that I love so much.
Super pretty.
They have posted, okay, so just I'm telling you now. Spoilers, okay? Spoilers.
Spoilers!
But I'm behind. So if you watch them and you're following along in that thread or you're making this at all, I'm behind. So I'm really not spoiling that much. I have finished Clue 1 and I'm only about halfway through Clue 2. I've just started the Ruby eyelets on Clue 2. And it's a really unusual construction. So Clue 1, okay, I'm showing you. It's a mystery. Clue 1 was this band right here.
The chevrons?
The chevron section.
Ooh.
You see that?
That's cool.
Started. Where did I start? I started here. Well, I started here. And so I worked this section and then this and then this and then bound off. And I have not tucked in my ends. Sorry, Katie.
Don't judge.
Yeah. And then Katie is one of the twins.
Oh, okay.
She's all about tucking in ends, and I have not tucked in my ends. And then for Clue 2, you pick up here in the I-cord. It has an I-cord edging.
Oh.
So there's an I-cord edging here and here, and so you pick up stitches in the I-cord edging.
That's cool.
And I'm not showing it very well. It's kind of hard to see here.
Well, I'm also looking at the back side of it.
Yeah.
So. It's looking fine for that.
So yeah, so you use 3 colors, fingering weight, and I'm just barely getting into the Ruby eyelet section here. I've got 1 wedge done, and then after the Ruby eyelet section, there's another wedge, and then there's something else. I can't remember what. Nice. So isn't that fun?
That is fun.
So the yarn I'm using a size 4 needle. I'm using my high sharp interchangeables. Size 4, 3.5 millimeter. So the gray, see that there's like speckles of blue and green in there? The gray is Bugbear Woolens. I can show you the yarns. Bugbear Woolens Gemstone sock yarn in the lichen colorway. So that's that. Isn't that pretty?
That's pretty.
It's got
super
chunks of blue and green in there with the gray.
Wow, that's pretty.
And then the light color is Cloudborn. Colorway is Blueberry Cheesecake.
Nice.
And this is their like fingering drip dry, and it's got little there we go, little flecks of blue in there.
That's pretty.
Can you see that? Isn't that pretty?
It is pretty.
Yeah. And then the blue, the solid blue, is Willow Quest. Whoa, there we go. Willow Quest in the Blue Jay colorway. And it's just a solid blue.
Nice.
So anyway, the 3 together.
It's a very pretty solid blue.
The 3 together.
It's so pretty.
Is it pretty?
It's very pretty.
Yeah, I'm blowing out the white a little.
There we go.
There we go. So, those are the colors I'm using. And I struggled with, because I had started with, I had chosen another yarn, but it was too heavy. It was a heavy and a fingering weight that really kind of fits in the sport weight category. It's a Wollmeise. Anyway,
that's probably how the Germans pronounce it.
The twin, which is at 80-20, I think, versus their 100% merino, is it's like only 300 and some odd yards per 100 grams. So it's kind of more actually in the sport weight. And I knew I wouldn't have enough probably with this. So I opted for this other blue instead. So anyway.
It's really pretty.
It is pretty. I'm enjoying it, and it's super fun and super different.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I'm enjoying that tremendously.
It looks fun.
All right.
Whips for me. All right.
Whips for you.
So, what have you've probably gotten glimpses of this? Let's see if I can. Oh, that works. This is what's it called? Magic Carpet Ride Sweater. I'm not showing it very well, but it's got this really fun hood.
Super cute. Look at that.
Let me think of Link for any video game nerds. But you start with just like a triangle shawl, and then it kind of just folds over like this. So you've got kind of like a diamondy hem, and then you've got a little bit of arm.
Can we help you?
Yeah, that'd probably be good. And then we'll do some like armhole stuff.
There we go.
Here. Super pretty. Let's see.
Holding it kind of cockeyed, but...
So yeah, it's the Magic Carpet Ride Sweater by Stephanie Pokorny. See if I can...
That's super cute. This
So-
little hood is so cute. Wow, you worked this up so fast.
Yeah, so that's... focus. It's not focusing.
It's because it's trying to focus on your face, probably.
Get my face out of there. Anyway, but you get the idea.
What's it called again?
Magic Carpet Ride Sweater.
Okay, I'll have John put that in there.
And it's not a free pattern, but you get sizes from 0/3 months all the way up to like a quintuple X. Yeah, a wide variety of sizes. And again, I'll try and... No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, maybe. I'll try and do... This is another it's the same pattern. Sorry, it's kind of... I kind of got to glimpse it for a second there. But all those flowers on the back of that one, she includes the pattern, the instructions for all of those flowers as well. Super fun, super cute. This is for Heidi, my niece, for her birthday, which I realized was last week.
It was Thursday.
Thursday, but yeah. So I'm working on that, trying to get that done.
So what yarn is that? And what
This
size?
is Karen Simply Soft in dark navy.
Are you cold?
I'm a little cold. My toes are cold too.
It was so hot in here.
It was warm in here earlier,
Okay.
and I'm using a size
I'll be right back.
I for 5.5 millimeter hook. This is a double-ended hook. Got 70s for knit picks, but I'm using the 5.5 millimeter end, so it's an I. And I'll also, for some of the flowers, I have another color of Karen Simply Soft. And I've got a knit picks yarn and a red heart yarn. I'll make some flowers, so that'll be fun.
Cool.
When I'm done
Very
with it.
cute.
A lot of different like
Cute and
bottom
soft and
trim
warm.
options as well.
It'll be adorable.
Yes.
It'll be so cute on her.
And
Oh, you're still wearing my shawl.
it's cozy. So for a couple years ago, I did a vampire themed knitting swap I did a couple years in a row actually. And one year, one of the person that made a package for me gifted me or gave me a copy of the Beekeeper's Quilt pattern.
Oh yeah, I remember
Like
that.
the Hexie Puffs. So
You've been working on that forever.
I have been working on that forever. I've kind of unearthed that. So I've got a puff started. I can't remember what yarn this is. It was gifted by I think the same person. Or maybe it was another person. But the following year. I don't know. But I've got a whole slew of fun yarns in there.
Her very cool shark
My
bag.
very cool shark bag. Whole bunch of fun leftover yarns in there to make more Hexie Puffs. So
Do you have any finished ones?
I don't think I have any.
You guys are probably familiar with that pattern.
I don't
It's
have
pretty-
any with
it's been
me
on
because
the-
I put them all in my bin already.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's the Beekeeper's Quilt
Beekeeper's Quilt. Yes.
on Ravelry.
I can't remember the designer, but then I started. Kirsten, look away.
Well, John's editing.
Okay. Well, John, don't show Kirsten. And Kirsten, look away when you watch. I'm making this. Oh, by the way.
What's it called?
It's called Window Pane Cardigan. This is from the Sock Yarn One Skein Wonders book.
I have that book too.
I know you do.
Yay for you for knitting out of your books.
I
with
know.
me.
And so that sweater, it's cold, but I need to show off things. I'm using Knit Picks Stroll Multi.
That's the juice box color.
Stroll Fingering
Right.
and Blaze Multi.
Oh, I thought it was juice box.
It looks like the juice box,
Okay.
but not quite the same.
Oh,
So this
okay,
is what I've
sorry.
got so far. Little mitered squares on size 4.
Are those high?
4.
I mean,
These are
Knit
these
Picks.
are the Knit Picks Majestic interchangeables. Yeah.
Can you see? I don't know if that makes a difference. It stops. There you go.
It's kind of hard to see, but laminated wood, like blue, purple, green wood needles.
Do you like
Great
those?
needles. I do really like them.
How do you feel about the
The joints?
Yeah, the
Fine.
joins. Okay.
Really nice needles, nice pointy tips. Knit Picks customer service is fantastic. I broke a needle tip a different size a couple months ago. And no, it was a couple months because I was working on one of the shawls for the play. And they sent me a whole new needle tip set for that size. For free.
Yeah, they're great.
Their customer service is awesome.
Yeah, and their yarn is great and affordable. Anything else?
I don't think I have any other whips with me.
you. Yes.
But I've unearthed an old Tour de Sock project. So.
Which they are not doing this year.
What?
No Tour de Sock this year.
Why
Sarah needs a
not?
break.
Oh.
I got an email about it, or I saw it somewhere.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but if you're in the group, they're still doing other knit-alongs and things
Yeah,
like
I'm
that.
sure.
They're just not doing the major tour this year.
Okay. It's good to know that we get a chance to catch up because I've got.
Catch up on your previous tours?
Yes. I've got a
Me too.
number of socks in progress. Let's say something else. I don't know.
So, do you have
Yeah.
anything that you have planned in the works?
Yes.
That you want to do?
Yes.
Or did you have any new acquisitions of new yarn, which you probably don't based on what you were telling me earlier?
Not random yarn acquisitions. I mean, I've bought a couple skeins of yarn here and there for various projects. But again, for specific projects. But I haven't recently.
I see something over there.
Yes, there
Where's
is something. I'll get to that in a second. Oops, that's the camera. I don't want the camera. Let's see. One thing that I've got coming up, again, Kirsten, you should look away when I show this off. I'm going to make the baby blanket called, I think it's called like Cervelli. That's what it looks like. Cervelli. Ravelry has a nice little audio cue there. But let's see. Here we go. That is the pattern.
That's so pretty.
So I'm going
Gorgeous.
to use.
Look at that. Ooh.
So what is
That's perfect.
what is pink? I'm going to use. I got some Lion Brand mandala yarn a couple months ago. No, several weeks ago. Several weeks ago, I got 2 balls in 2 different colors, 2 different colorways. One that's definitely more girly and one that can go either way. So depending on what she's having, I will use one or the other. So for that, what is pink will be that, and what is gray will either be black or white or cream-ish.
Depending on what the other color is.
Depending on what the other color is. So, and I'll probably put, because it's stranded, you know, the floats on the back, so I'll probably put like some kind of like flannel back. Or line the other side of it, just to make it extra cozy.
That way you don't have baby toes and fingers getting snagged on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to make myself a pair of slippers. The pattern is called Drago. And yes, the inspiration is, what do you think it is?
Drago?
Called Drago from Game of Thrones. It's not focusing, but it's they're double knitted slippers. And so I'm gonna use some knit.
Because we all love Jason Momoa.
Aquaman? Oh my gosh. Husband and I went and saw that the other day. There's a side view of the slippers, so it's not wanting to focus properly, but you get the idea. So I'm going to make those for myself. I'm going to use Red Heart and Soul in cream. And then Knit Pick, Stroll, and Cupcake Multi. It's kind of like a brown and pink. So that'll be fun. And then this.
Yeah, what kinds of plants? Yes,
I
want to see that one. Show me that one.
Yes. So I'm, as part of, again, I'm going to try and use like existing patterns, work out of my queue, work from my books. I got this book about the Brioche Chic. I have another Brioche book, but I left that at home. Well, I'll probably need to refer to that because that's more of a reference with some patterns. But I'm going to make, it's called the Chevron Deep V Pullover. So that's that. So it starts with the body. So you start like on the side, like one side, decrease.
It starts in the middle of the body? How odd.
Well, it starts on the side, like a side seam.
Oh, is it work side to side?
This part is work side to side. So then
I can see that. Okay.
And then you work this way, decrease, then increase, and then decrease with the back, increase. And then you seam it here, but I'm going to graft it. And then,
that sounds complicated.
Yeah. And then you do pick up stitches for the ribbing, pick up stitches for the sleeves, and then the yoke. You pick up stitches and do a yoke. And this is the brioche part.
Right, I can tell.
So,
wow.
So, I'm going to use...
That looks complicated.
It looks complicated, but what's not brioche is either 1x1 ribbing or stockinette stitch.
Well, you totally could do it because she's talented that way.
Until I made those baby booties I showed earlier, I had never done anything brioche. And even the baby booties is like half brioche. So that's kind of like a main craft.
Brioche is fun, isn't it?
I've heard. And I love the look of it. I actually have a brioche tag in for my Ravelry queue. And
I love brioche. It's fun. It's easy,
apparently.
Really.
I don't know. I don't know.
Squishy.
I don't know why I haven't gotten around to doing it. It's just so. The goal is to, just do a number of brioche projects so I can get the hang of that, because there's a pattern released recently called the Pick Your Side. It's a dress, all brioche, lace weight yarn on size zeros.
Oh yeah, that dress. Oh.
Gorgeous. Yeah. It's got like some like cable-y, twisty things on the yoke. But yeah, lace weight yarn on size zeros. So, and I want to make that. So, I mean, it's not a long dress.
More power to you, girl. No, I mean...
So,
yeah.
I don't know exactly what yarn I'm going to use for that yet. I might use some Barufa Casual, which is discontinued. So, I'll probably have to buy... Yeah, I have one skein of one color.
Well, what about this, though?
But, anyway, detour. For that chevron pullover, I'm going to use Queensland Rustic Tweed.
I've used that before. It's great stuff. Those socks I made for you, I made with that.
Oh, which ones?
The turquoisey blue ones.
Oh, those ones. Yes. So this is.
It's so soft.
Rustic Tweed, color 917. It's shade different.
But it has like alpaca and wool,
it's 63% wool, 27% alpaca, 10% Nodel, which I'm guessing is the tweedy part.
Yeah.
I got like 15 of these skeins. I did a test knit for a sweater test knit a couple years ago using this yarn.
Oh yeah, I remember that sweater.
Project page is called my project page is titled Tweedy Hamish, and I think the pattern's just called
You were wearing that sweater the other day.
I was.
Yeah, it's a great sweater.
Very warm sweater. So
I can imagine.
So I'm going to do that pattern with this yarn.
That'd be nice.
But I want to do that soon. I may do a cowl or hat something first before doing that, or I may just dive in head first and just we'll see.
All right.
Yeah, and then other.
I don't have anything specific that I am starting. I'm trying not to start too many new things. The one thing I am working on another mystery shawl right now, actually, and knit along, and I'm not loving it right now, so I'm going to wait till the next clue comes out to see if I change my mind. So I might redo some of those decisions. And I know that the Periscoping Sisters, they have a Mother's Day shawl Mystery, I think, knit along coming up in the spring, and I do plan to do that. Okay, so the only other things that because we're just about done and to wrap up, but I wanted to show a few little acquisitions, some yarn enabling. So, the first up is some yumminess that I got from Suburban Stitcher.
Oh, that's pretty.
Suburban Stitcher, she is in Texas, and her podcast is wonderful. She's a wonderful person. I love her. And she also dyes beautiful yarn. So she is hosting the Rainbow Along. I can't remember when it starts. Has it started already? I don't know. Anyway, so in honor of that, she dyed some yarn in honor of the Rainbow Along that you can use. So this first one is called Granny Square. Okay, so let me see if I can figure out how to hold this so that you can see everything without it blowing out like crazy. Okay, so Suburban Stitcher. This is her basic sock yarn in Granny Square.
Pretty.
So what it is a gray. Oh, Holly, come on.
There we go.
You can do it. It's gray with speckles of a primary rainbow stuff in there. Isn't that pretty?
It's really pretty.
Yes, I love it so much. And there's these just great colors in there. Look at that. Oh, I love it so much. And then I also got Happy Accident, which is purple.
The Bob Ross reference. Happy.
It's purple. Does it look purple on the screen? It's not looking purple to me. It's looking like a bluey gray.
It's like a, but it's like a very grayish lavender.
Yeah,
in real life.
It's purple.
Although purple's a hard color to get and to capture.
And it has all these great speckles on it too. So Happy Accident.
I have a feeling that's a Bob Ross reference. Happy little trees, happy little accident.
I don't know enough about Bob Ross.
I haven't watched any Bob Ross like full videos,
and
but it's an internet thing.
Yes, okay. The last one I got was from Kim Dyes Yarn. Look at these great business cards.
Nice. Ooh.
Isn't that great?
Fun.
She has great business cards. And she included a little note just for me.
Aww.
With her, which was nice. With this yarn. The color is Snow's Rainbow.
Ooh, that's pretty.
And this is so this one is gray with like primary rainbow in it.
Mm-hmm.
This one is like a gray with like neon Easter egg rainbow.
Fun!
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of neon
this
colors.
One's more speckly. That one's more flashy. Like there's speckles of color versus flashes of color.
Yeah.
Super pretty.
I have a hard time because I am kind of retarded. Yeah.
There we go.
So, isn't that pretty?
So pretty.
So that's Kim Dyes Yarn. Whoopsie. Kim Dyes Yarn in the, there we go, Snow's Rainbow.
Nice.
I love it. I just
Super
can't wait
pretty.
to do something with it. I have a million socks, but I still want more socks.
Of course.
But maybe I'll do hats, but I don't wear hats. So I don't know. Probably socks. But I realized that Allison was just talking about buying yarn that's just for a project. But these, I would love a whole sweater made out of this. I would love a whole sweater made out of this. I totally would wear a whole sweater made out of either one of these things.
Well, they all kind of go together.
They all kind of do go together. So
maybe you can make
now
a sweater out of all three of them.
You kind of only try to get yarn that I will have very specific. I do want to make more sweaters this year. One of my goals this year is to. And okay, so that was the other thing I started to bring up the other day, a little while ago at the beginning of this podcast. It's such a long podcast, it feels like it was days ago. No. Stitches West is coming up the end of February. And end of February? Yeah. And I plan to go. It's in Santa Clara, California.
Ooh.
So if any of you are going, any of you watching this are going, please come find me. I'll be there all weekend. I do plan to take a class. I signed up for it's a yarn dyeing class. Mm-hmm. And all the other ones got sold out, but there was one left, and it was over dyeing a skein.
Oh.
I don't know if I need, it doesn't say that I have to bring any yarn, so I'm just...
I would hope that they would provide at least something.
Well, but I have to pay a materials fee, so maybe they're providing a yarn for us to over dye. Anyway, so how to over dye yarn. So I'm very excited to take that class. And that is on Saturday. So I'll have all day Friday to do the marketplace and Saturday to do my class and leftover marketplace. So I don't know if I'm going to drive down or fly down. I'm hoping somebody will go with me, whether it be you or
Let's see.
I'm hoping Kirsten. Or
it's, you know,
I just don't want to go by myself if I can help it.
Yeah. How much?
So, and I looked at Airbnbs and I had one all picked out, and then I didn't reserve it yet because just waiting to hear back to see who was going to be able to come with me, and now it's gone. And,
oh no!
I was watching Squirrel Pie Productions yesterday. Squirrel Pie Productions. She's in California, and she just was saying, "I'm going to Stitches West, and I got an Airbnb." I'm like, that was probably the one I was gonna get. I don't know, maybe it wasn't, but it made me laugh because I was like, I'm doing the same thing, and I looked in that Airbnb that I was gonna reserve was gone.
Oh no!
It's okay. There's others.
Yeah.
But
how much?
If I wait too long, there won't be others. So.
So what are all the costs involved?
Okay, so Stitches West, you only pay for the classes.
Okay.
So the classes are $85 if you want a class.
Okay.
And they're 3 hours long, so it's a pretty good deal, really.
Yeah.
And then when you get a class, you get into the marketplace free.
When you do a class.
When you do a class, and when you don't do a class, I think the marketplace is like $10, $15.
That's not too bad.
Something like that.
The main cost is
for the whole
lodging
weekend.
and transportation.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll have to talk to the hubby.
Yep. Just lodging and transportation.
You said end of February?
Mm-hmm. Last weekend of February, 22nd through the 24th.
Okay.
I think. Something like that. So anyway, I'm very excited.
I'll have to look into that.
I would love to, you know, if anybody's watching this that's going, please, let me know.
Yeah.
You know, send me a message on Ravelry and we'll find each other or something. I would love that. That would be super fun.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think that's it. Anyway, well, thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you.
And
come back.
Thanks for coming back. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.